General Armz was a key leader in the Mutant Liberation Army fighting against the Kreelers in well-coordinated attacks. He became a father figure for the young mutant Johnny Alpha after he had fled from his real father. He is the four-armed hero of the Mutant Rebellion, and today we are painting him on Adventures with Peps. Welcome to the channel, hit like, subscribe, and let's get painting. Right, here we go. I've got the model primed black and a heavy pallid witch overcoat. Look at that. It's pretty much blocked in apart from the real deep recesses. This is a beautiful model. It is one of the last metal models from Warlord games. We're going to kick things off with the Reichland flesh shade. I'm starting with his flesh because I just want it done and secured and safe. He has his four hands. And then he has this wonderful mustached face. So I'm just going to carefully go around knocking in this color. Now, in the comics, you don't really see him colored in. At least the comics that I've read. I'm not sure if they've been recolored for future editions, but in the ones I got, they're all black and white. So I am purely going off what Warlord games have produced for us. Their uniform is kind of a load of light swampy greens and then some darker greens. I'm not 100% sold on that scheme, so I'm going for a slightly different take on it. It's not going to look hugely different, but there is definitely going to be a difference. This model, I'm ashamed to say, has sat on my shelf for way too long, and I'm very happy to be getting some paint on him. He deserved to be painted before now, but luckily I'm getting around to it. I'm getting through the backlog. He is gonna ultimately end up in Judge Dredd and Sector 102. He is not going to be General Armz in that setting. He's gonna have a new name, new identity, but you know, deep down in our hearts we know who he is. We know he is the hero that the mutants needed. And there you go, flesh coat done. You listened to me waffle for long enough. We got through stage one. Whoop. Up next, the Sand Golem. I am just gonna absolutely cover the model with this. Anything that's not flesh or a gun is getting this on it. This is gonna be the base coat of the uniform. So I might as well just hit everything with it. It's gonna help with the shading of the other colors. Also give everything a nice earthy tone. Now, General Armz, he had a sad ending. He ultimately died during an assault against the Keelers at Westminster Abbey. He was shot in the back several times. He died in Johnny Alpha's arms and gave him his blessings before passing. This is part of the reason that Johnny Alpha is so messed up. This guy was a father figure to him and ultimately was killed by his true father's troops. The Kreelers. If you didn't know, there was a massive spoiler just then, I'm sorry. But Johnny Alpha, his real name is Johnny Kreeler. His father is the big anti-mutant villain of the strip. And the whole reason these mutants are uprising. Old Four Arms here. He was an excellent guerrilla warfare fighter and had amazing leadership skills. He was pretty much a normal human being. Apart with an extra set of arms, he exercised probably a little bit better than your normal person, probably to a standard of a soldier. But for the most part, same height, same build, he would have passed as a human if he didn't have those extra arms. In some of the comic strips, he was lucky enough to have a jetpack. Sadly, this model doesn't have it. I think that would have been a cool little rule for him if he could fly around as well. And then, of course, he is armed with his multiple blasters. I adore this model. Now that I'm getting paint on it, I am starting to appreciate how nice the model is. It's got a lot of details that when I hit it with the greens in a little bit, it's going to start looking really impressive. And when I finish the model and you get to see it, I hope you appreciate how nice it looks. I am genuinely impressed with this model. It also makes me sad that it was one of the last metal models that I got from Warlord games before they went all resin. The Strontium range, if you can find it, are all metal. There's no resin versions. I do hope Warlord Games go back and reprint some of them, because I'm missing so many in the set. They held a sale, and I don't think I'm the only one who thought this, but it ended up being a clearance sale and no one knew. So as kits sold out, that was it. They were gone. If I'd have known, I would have dropped so much money there and then. I would have got the entire set in one hit. Instead, I'm left trying to pay scalper prices on Fleabay. I'm grabbing them if they ever appear on Amazon, but that's very rare. I found some places in Canada that have had them. But like, these kits are hard to get in North America to begin with, so trying to get them on the secondhand market is ridiculous, and then paying shipping from Europe is killing my bank account. So, Warlord Games, you let me down there. I still love you, but you let me down. You need to be clearer when you're actually killing a line off so that I could have bought everything. Saying that, I probably still would have missed out because everyone else would have bought it. That is the way of things. Right, I think we got the whole suit done. I'm being a lot more talkative today. I don't know what's going on. I think I've got the Christmas spirit in me. It's making me cheerful. It's almost the end of 2022. I can't do math. Almost the end of 2023. And I'm excited. I'm excited. We've got ABC Warriors turning up in January. I'm a little bit tempted to go down the bolt action route as well. I'm still not 100% sold on it, but I am very tempted. I could almost do Strontium Dogs using bolt action. Imagine that, using bolt action figures to make the Mutant Liberation Army, and then a different faction to be the Kreelers. That could actually work really well. Ooh, I have an idea brewing. Right, there you go. Got Sand Golem all over the model now. We're going to let that dry. I need it to fully dry before I drop any greens on. We don't want these colours mixing and leaking together, so let's jump forward in time. With the Sand Golem dried, I realised it was much darker than I thought it was going to be. So I'm hitting this up with a very heavy dry brush of pallid witch skin. I struggle with my words. I do apologise. It is the pallid witch skin. We're just going to lighten up the entire suit, and this is before I hit it with any greens. I just want it to be a little bit brighter. Not over the top bright, as you can see, just that little touch, just the littlest touch. And for the next step, we hit up hardened leather. I'm using this on his boots and any pouches he might have. I picked this color because it's a nice warm brown. It's not too dark. It's not too light. I think over the Sand Golem, it's going to get a nice rich tone to it. So I'm just going to slowly work my way around. Turns out this was the easiest part of the brown. The boots are quite clear and easy to pick out. I stupidly decide I'm going to try and do all the straps and his belt. So I'm just got to steady up the hand and take my time. I want to make sure I got nice clean edges. We don't want any spillage, any leakage happening. I want this to look nice and clean and not have to go back and fix that Sand Golem. Because if I have to fix that, then I have to dry brush it again. That's going to be a real pain in the butt ski. So let's just take my time. This step takes me a while, so we're going to skip forward a little bit. And with these final swipes, we are almost done with this brown. Look at that. I managed to get a nice sharp point to the brush. Slightly curved the brush, but it's working for me, so I'm not going to worry about that. I can always fix the brush or get new ones. These are just my freebie sit-down miniature brushes I got from the Imperium magazine, so I'm not too worried about them getting trashed. And there we go. That is the hardened leather stage done. I think he looks pretty sweet. Like, you could almost leave him at this stage. I wouldn't recommend it, but he's pretty much tabletop ready at this stage. I'm very happy with this guy. He looks so cool. Right, I think it's time we moved on. The next step is going to be dark wood. Obviously a slightly darker brown than the hardened leather. And this is going to be a stupidly fast step. I am going to try and catch his mustache. I don't know why. There's just something about him that makes me think he's got a nice dark rich brown mustache. Seems like, I know he's army, but I'm getting Air Force mustache vibes from him. Guess it doesn't say if he's a general of the army or general of the Air Force. Just he is General Armz. So I'm just carefully trying to pick out his mustache. Don't want to waste too much time there. I'm also getting weird Mario vibes at the moment. I don't think there's a mustard Mario suit that I know of, but maybe he could be the third Mario. Or fourth. Actually, how many Marios are there now? Mario, Luigi, Dr. Mario. Am I missing anyone else? Why am I waffling about Mario? Back to painting. We are on to Runic Grey. For those of you who have watched enough of these videos now, you know I don't like my metallic paints, so I'm going to use this on his blasters instead. Just going to carefully cut my way around everything, keeping it nice and clean. I'm also going to go over the brown of his belt buckle, just to make it a slightly different tone than the rest of the belt. But yeah, nothing fancy here. Just nice, simple, clean swipes of the grey. The blasters have some great shapes to them, so I'm not worried about that. They're going to look great when it's done. Now we're on to a fun step. Absolution Green has come out. This, in my mind, would make a perfect Dark Angel green if you were painting 40k. But for this model, I am picking out his armor joints. I'm also going to be doing his jacket in this wonderful colour. It's going to go over this sand golem very nicely. It's going to make all the shadows nice and dark. And I think I'm happy with what I've picked. I think I've made the right choice here. I'm very happy. Now, the jacket is a big part of the model, and it's only at this stage that I realised I've kind of gone Johnny Alpha with the model. And what I mean by that is Johnny Alpha is green and yellow, and I've done General Armz green and yellow. I didn't mean to, it just happened. But I think it makes sense. Johnny Alpha saw him as a parental figure. So to have green and yellow as his colours, maybe that's what affected Johnny Alpha and made him want to be in green and yellow as well. Maybe it's a sign of the Mutant Liberation. I'm not sure. I'm just making it up now. But as you can see, I'm very carefully going around, trying to block in this coat, not mess up the sand golem. And I've pretty much got the front all done, just the back to do. But we are going to skip forward so you don't have to waste too much time watching that. With the green drying, I grab the rack of flesh. I'm going to use this on the sand golem in certain areas, just to brighten it up, give it a little pop. Now, I'm going to try and be nice and careful. See if we can get the picture to zoom. There we go. Just going to take my time. Nice, crisp, clean lines all the way around. It's just going to help brighten up the model. I think we can pretty much call it there for this one. I'll chuck up some photos so you can see the finished models. But I hope you enjoyed. Hope you'll come back for the next video. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I do really appreciate you all, especially those who are sharing and liking on social media. Really does mean the world to me that people are watching this. And I will catch you back here very soon. As always, cheers for watching.